I opened my back door to see if it would cool things off, and it made zero difference.
Yeah, with that humidity, that probably it's not going to do
Yeah,
much.
no, but at least I tried.
Right? Yeah, if the air's not moving, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah, yeah. But I might sleep on the back porch tonight since I can.
I didn't realize got that warm up there.
It typically doesn't. This is an oddity. Um,
Okay.
we get, I mean, sometimes in August, well, yeah, in August we might get up to the 90s, but in June it should not be this warm.
Hmm.
But, you know, everything goes in cycles.
Yep.
I think since you two are going ultra stealthy, I'm just going to start going the other ways and go flamboyant. I'm going to get my tail and I'm going to start wearing clothes, and I'll be the distraction. All teeth and tail and
Sure.
flamboyant.
Darwin's totally willing to throw himself on the pyre for that one.
Sure. Well, I pretend. I've got myself convinced I'm tough enough to back it up.
Okay, so just to recap, your employer has given you the card that's got half of the link information to a nice account that's got about 5,000 credits, by the way. So it is good money, and Diablo basically wants you to protect the Ancients, which is the little community down there that seem to be fairly nice folks, from the possible corrupt cops that are jumping and beating up old men in alleyways. At least that's what you've seen so far. There totally could be a twist. There totally could be. As I get flashbacks to like a mafia retirement home.
So who's got some ideas? I've got some ideas. Who's got some ideas?
As she glides off into the night on her hovercycle, leaving just the sparkling, glistening trails of tears of her brothers and sisters that she loves, who basically told her to leave and she's dead to them.
Aww.
It's so touching.
It's almost like a telenovela.
Right?
Until you find out her twin sister. Dun dun dun.
So I'm thinking we need to at least bug the alleyway, and
I think that's a good idea.
Also, I have a question. Those, assuming you shared that information with us, Maestro, are those pictures from the cops after they got busted for the other internal affairs? I mean, are they back on the street already, or?
You said there was no date stamps, right?
And sadly, there were no date stamps on that.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't know. But I mean, yeah.
Friend in the DA office still might want to see those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it helps us to know who to look for. So, but yeah, no, I definitely showed you guys when she first showed them out. I was like, pointed at the one guy and kind of nodded like, hey, this one of.
Oh yeah.
As she leaves, it's like, that guy is one of the IA guys.
We need to find more about this reporter. Like, her itinerary would be ideal to know when she's going to be popping by.
That's true. Maybe you should charm that reporter with your way with the ladies.
What way? I don't know what you're talking about.
He studied the Tao of the ladies.
I mean, he got it pretty tight with Esme.
But but knowing her itinerary, like when she's planning visits in to talk to people, if we can be as invisible as possible throughout this, that'll be to everybody's benefit. Because 3 of us can't like take them all on, but if we can just like surgically handle one thing at a time, that might be get a little easier for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I mean, the reporter's theoretically a good element. It's the cops that are trying to prevent that from happening. So, yeah.
Right, but if we know like when she plans on visiting to get more information or witness statements or whatever, we know what to look out for.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Or yeah, just a thought anyway.
yeah. I mean,
It's a good train of thought.
I can try
We
to.
also might.
But
Go ahead.
yeah, but becoming friendly with her is a good idea too.
Yeah.
It seems like, at least to our knowledge, most of the action has happened in the one alley. I wonder if we need. I mean, we should get to know the land and what other ambush points there are around that we might need to be aware of or keep track of. Or
Yeah, I'm all about
mean-
the special number 3, man.
oh yeah, for sure. But I'm just saying, scout the area, bug the alley, get special number 3.
Look around, talk to people, get the lay of the land. That's a very good idea.
Yeah.
And what better way than to go down and chow on some food?
Yep. Also, we're
Did
gonna
you skip breakfast again?
Well, you know, had to catch up on some sleep.
Catching up on sleep.
All about some good local food, man.
And if she says it's good, she's not kidding.
Yeah, I mean, threw her mother under the bus for it, so I mean, hell.
What did she say the name of the place was?
She basically just pointed to the
Named
cart. She
the
didn't actually
truck.
name
Oh.
it.
Yeah, a little food cart.
Oh, it was a food cart.
Yeah, it's a food cart. A
Yeah,
food cart that's
street
got a
food, man.
long line.
Mexican street food. The bomb.
Okay.
It means they
Well-
live on return customers. Just gonna throw that out there. Their survival is based on people coming back tomorrow to buy the same food again.
Yeah. So yeah, I say we kind of make our way down and go kind of throw in, and then you know,
yeah,
have
let's
food, take a gander, talk to who we can talk to. Though, you know, I'm gonna at that point be limited.
Wait a minute. Are you saying they lace the food with narcotics so people get addicted to it?
Yeah.
No, it's not the Golden U Corporation.
MSG, man.
Okay. Let's.
You put
yeah,
the
let's-
you put the genetic designer drugs in the cows, and then you serve the meat of the cows.
That okay. That
And you basically make sure it's legal to have the drug in the cow, and it just happens to be in the burger.
Right.
But don't worry, no studies have showed any long-term effects.
Yeah. No, not like, you know, young boys are growing breasts or things early, or, you know, larger breasts because of, you know, growth hormones in the meat and things like that.
never happen
So
ever.
we need a place to park the car that's not on the street though, because
That
the
was
streets are
my.
filthy.
Well, that was one of the first things we should look for is we should find good places to park, good getaway locations, stuff like that. Like have a few options. Maestro, can you like pull up a map in your head or something like that and find like good
And the nice thing is, after the DA
Places-
fixed your guys' car up, it looks really great. I mean, you should totally not park it on the street corner.
I didn't intend to. We need to find good parking spaces where we can get a good lay of the land and in and out quick without attracting much notice.
Yeah, get your Yelp going, Maestro.
He'll pull up Woogle on
one
the
should-
on the
one-
net.
Google discrete safe parking spaces. Good getaway.
Well, see, it's not Google, it's Woogle.
Sorry, Google. That's right.
Yeah.
We might also want to find an apartment in the area to lease for a week or two.
Well, yeah, we can kind of like double up on these. Like, Maestro, if you can get some ideas ahead of time, then we'll scope them out when we get there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm just saying, just spitballing, throwing out ideas, things we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, remember, if the rooftop is a great place to surveillance this place, you got 10 floors of empty open windows that you could use too, rent free.
How far away is it though? Like, it's not like walking distance or anything, is it?
No, it's about a good 2 blocks away.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's not.
That's not
Walk
too
2
bad.
blocks.
But since you got a nice, good
course.
height advantage here, most of their buildings are first story. You're in a nice 20-story building. You can totally see the lay of their community's, land.
It is a good lookout spot.
And the price is right.
I'll
Mhm.
agree with that.
And out in the darkness, someone's dog is barking incessantly. So I'll be right back so I can go shut the dog up because it is 11 o'clock. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Cement your game
Right.
plan.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, see about. I mean, it's only a couple blocks away. I mean, we could park the car around here, or if there's kind of a back little alley spot or something to pull it into, and kind of do a little.
We could just leave the car here and just climb up and down the wall.
Yeah, I mean, you could just do a little cover on it or something.
Well, yeah. We're in a high. I can't climb all the way up and down the wall. Maybe you can.
I mean, I
I
don't
think
think we
you're
have to climb
the
up
only
and
one.
down. I'm sure we can go through the building.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
we have to climb down at least one floor because the roof access door is welded shut from the outside.
Mm.
Yeah, and it's all blown out. I think we're gonna have to. That's a lot of steps.
Yeah.
Doesn't make for a speedy escape.
Yeah.
I think the key thing is we're gonna have to be able to be very mobile, because if this kind of stuff can go down anywhere, anytime, it's like we don't want to be stuck in any one spot for overly long without a quick way to get around. That's why I like if we get in like everybody's itineraries or something like that, we can try to make sure we're in the right places at the right times.
So, you're wanting me to hack into the freaking news
For-
company's database to find her email.
Not that necessarily, but if we could get a meeting with her or something like that, and then from there you can access her stuff directly, would not have to go through all the corporate layers. Or even if we could just talk to her and talk her into being forthcoming with us, that could work too.
Yeah, or do some actual foot sleuthing and talk to people and might find things out.
That is very,
that's
very
also-
true. Sorry.
Multiple points.
The old-fashioned way of doing some of the stuff.
The hackers suggesting the old-fashioned way of doing things.
Well, it's a black hole down there, so yeah, it kind of is gonna limit some of our things we can do once we're there.
He's
Yeah.
like, damn it, why do we have to actually talk to people? Can't I just check out their website profiles?
Well, let's go get it, number 3.
Okay,
You know,
so
so
when you do a basic Google search, you find out the nearest paid parking spot that the company that has the nice secure paid parking, so you don't actually lose your vehicle. Instead you find bodies laying over your vehicle because they tried to steal it. It is a bit of a distance away. So if you park your vehicle there, you're not going to be easy eye shot of the community. So you have to like walk, like a good 6 blocks to get there, to get back there.
Hmm.
Well, for now, since we're just doing reconnaissance, probably be safe. I say that now, of course.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen in 6 blocks? The time it takes to walk 6 blocks.
Right?
I mean,
6
other than
blocks,
that, you
man.
could totally park on the curb. I mean, there's a thing.
Or maybe in an alley and kind of conceal it.
You could totally try. I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah.
And we could just rub metal over it, make it look old and dirty and gross. Dent it a couple times. I'll kick the door. I mean, I haven't yet. I'm offering to. I'm
Please
offering
don't.
to kick the door.
He starts
Put a couple
closing the
guns
door
out.
by just doing a horse kick from behind.
Couple bullet holes in it, to add character.
Yeah,
Stick
it'll
out a
fit
tail
right
light.
Well, for this time around, at least, let's just go in on foot and see what we see.
Yeah. All right.
in. Sure.
Okay, so you guys gonna go
Beautiful day
park your car?
Park the car.
So
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
low price of 50 credits, it'll be safe until you come back for it tomorrow. Or earlier, of course.
Alright, I'll foot the bill for it today.
Okay, so you guys, you start walking. The neighborhood seems to be very, very, very ethnic, very, nice and calm. You see, shopkeepers cleaning up their shops, some of them closing down because, it is, oh my God, time at night. Other ones are stocking up for the next morning's rush. You see a couple professional gals and guys offering companionship if that's the type of thing that you like. And the big thing you're noticing is every now and then when you look around the streets, you see in pairs a couple of people with the ancients patch on their back. So you're getting a very neighborhood sense that the ancients hang out and patrol the neighborhood too. And every
they
time
seem
you
to
see
be
one of
paying
them,
attention to us.
they're kind of giving you three kind of a look, but nobody seems to be. Who's got the best perception of the group?
And I have 2 greens and a yellow.
I've got 2 greens.
I am a green or 2 green and a yellow.
Yeah, so you and I are the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, they don't seem to be paying any real attention to you guys.
Mm.
Not that you noticed.
Blending right in.
As the camera pans back from you guys, who are oblivious to the fact that they're like tracking your every step in this neighborhood and relaying it back to somebody with small cell phones. As you guys seem to be walking the neighborhood since you guys aren't causing any kerfuffle. They seem to be like super chill and not bothering you guys.
Okay.
And of course, you guys see the ladies and gents that are working the street corner are kind of like giving you guys the whole hustle of the whole, hey, this is what they're selling tonight if you're buying. Very obnoxious, but they're doing it to like every third person they see on the street corner. And then other ones are, coming out and so offering some, would you like to purchase some food or whatnot? And, you want to buy some watches, and then you guys see this line for this food cart and nothing but satisfied customers walking away eating food.
All right. Well, let's make our way to
Well,
the line, man.
Yeah.
Okay, and this, you get in line and there's this sweet little granny in front of you guys, and she's just, she immediately turns around, and who's going to be the one right behind her in line?
Oh, me.
Mm. This sweet little
Don't
granny, I
scare
mean,
me, old
she
lady.
looks like she's in her 80s, but of course, modern medicine helps keep you alive longer and looking a little healthier. And she turns around and looks at you and kind of like glancingly pulls her hand back. And you kind of don't realize it at first, but then you realize that she just, took hold of your tail and is tapping it in both her hands like she's holding your hand, and she just starts talking in this very quiet voice in Spanish with a heavy accent, and she's just holding your tail like a hand, like a probably a small child's hand, and she's just like talking away. And the guy behind her in front of her kind of looks back and then looks at Darwin and kind of like turns back around like I got nothing to do with this conversation. And she's just like shoo shoo, oh mijo, shoo shoo, shoo shoo, and she's just like talking like she's holding her grandchild's hand and talking to the grandchild.
Oh my gosh.
You get the
I'm
sense
gonna.
that she might be a little senile.
Yeah, I'm gonna smile and nod and say yes, grandma. Yes, grandmother. Yes. Oh crap! I never took any Spanish.
Say
I say
abuela.
yes, abuela.
Ooh, a good one. Yep.
Yeah. I say yes, abuela, and nod and smile and stand in line with her. Ooh, I might get
And
ahead.
and the whole time she just kind of like is nodding to you and talking, and she's talking about this and that, and she's you keep, even someone who understands exactly what she's speaking doesn't know what she's saying because she's mumbling and talking so under her breath, and then she like after a sentence or two she stops and she just like and then she's just patting your
Oh,
tail like a hand while she's catching her breath, and then she just gets back to telling stories. And then conveniently, the food comes really fast because they get resupplied from the house that they're doing the real cooking in. And about a good half an hour of standing there, you guys smell this amazing food as you guys are coming up. And she comes up and
oh.
she just kind of puts, as she reaches into her purse, and she kind of puts a couple
Oh,
coins and a few.
no, I'm gonna pay for her.
Oh, and the guy behind the cart has this big mustache and smile as he sees her. He's like, "Oh, sweet lady, sweet lady, you know." And as soon as you like whip out credits and flash it, he just looks at you and he beams. And he's like, "Oh, sweet one, is this your grandson you speak about?" And she's just like, "Oh, see, see, see." And he kind of gestures over to the jar where the prices are like the same price for every dish, no matter which number you get. It's just quantities are different. And he looks at you and so Mamacita is your usual number one, and she's just like see, and he pulls out the little tray, and then he immediately yells at the top of his lungs, and this young boy immediately comes running up, and he hands the number one prepackaged to the boy, and the boy walks up to her, and he's basically, I have your food, I bring your food home to your home with you, and he smiles up at Darwin and he says, my my grandson here takes her back to her home to keep her safe and make sure she doesn't trip and spill her food, because we put extra portions in with a little bit of vitamin powder to make sure she stays healthy. Would you like some food as well?
Yes, a number 3, please.
Oh, who told you about the number three? And he immediately gets behind his cart and he starts popping some things in the container and then closes the container and slides it over there. And he kind of gestures for you to put some credits in there for you.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna leave a generous tip.
And he kind of gives you this big smile like, my amigo, you need more tortillas. And he grabs like a handful of tortillas and slaps them on top of the container. And he says, and if you're interested, my nephew is talking about having a delivery service, since we've been doing so well and the lines are getting so long, that we could have a delivery service for a small delivery charge. And he pulls out a paper menu and puts that on top of your tortillas.
Thank you. And this number right here is what we call for delivery?
Yes. The number there will be for free delivery. And he winks at you because he's like, oh, if you're her grandson, I'll make sure you get free delivery. But
Oh my gosh,
shh,
I almost feel
keep
bad.
it between us. Just
Yes,
between you and I,
thank
my
you.
muchacho.
Mum's sword. I zipper my lip, and um, and I will. Thank you. Thank you so. Gracias. Gracias.
And he's like, you're very welcome. Have a great day. Enjoy your food. And
Thank
try
you.
not to stay up too late if you can. Sleep is important.
Sleep is important. Yes. After a while that goes to sleep, I will sleep.
And he kind of looks down the street as she's like plugging along. She got those little slow feet that move so quickly when you don't look. As the boys, got her by the arm and taking her to the sidewalk to make sure she's safe.
Oh, she's in good hands. Thank you again, my friend.
You're very welcome.
Gracias.
And then he kind of looks at who's next in line.
I was.
Probably. Not me. I'm probably last.
I'll be next in line.
Okay, and he kind of, he gives you that look like, how can I help you? I don't think I've seen you around here before.
You haven't. This first time. Number 3 also. Do you guys not get a lot of strangers around here?
Oh no! Normally, this far into the neighborhood, most people avoid this area. I have to warn you that I've heard there's some pollution in the river that you definitely want to avoid. Pollution, yes. Unfortunately, there's some runoff from the industrial complexes over there, and the water. And he basically points way over. You see, basically like city canals, concrete canals. And he's like, make sure you don't fall or let anyone play in the water over there.
No, I hadn't heard about anything like this. Is that common knowledge?
Well, all of us that have been around here know that you have to bring bottled water to water your plants. And if you have any pets, you must keep them away from the open water because things happen to the pets. Whether it's the bad water or they just disappear into the river itself. But it's fairly common knowledge for anyone in the neighborhood to avoid the water. So please be aware of that for your own safety.
That's terrible. Nobody does anything about this?
Well, and he kind of like looks both ways, like he's about to say something, as I need you to give me a charm roll.
Well, okay.
Just to see how much he's going to spill.
Alright. Let's see how much. There's.
Ooh, look at you cashing in like that. I like that. That's exactly what they're there for.
That's right. We're here for info. I want info. Okay, here we go. Is it set?
Yep. Okay, so immediately you, with your dashing smile and face that seems to be unrecognizable, he looks at you and looks kind of like both ways at first to make sure the guy standing behind you doesn't overhear too much, even though he's got this big, robust voice. As he's like, well, I know for a fact there's been a reporter kind of coming around asking questions. And I know if... Do you watch Channel 77 News?
No, not recently.
Jessica Montoya, the reporter from Channel 77 News, has come to my stand herself. And he immediately gestures for you to come around to his side of the stand real quick. And he basically has one of those little electronic picture frames that rotates between family pictures, and he immediately starts poking his finger on the thing and changing the pictures, and you see a bunch of family pictures and a bunch of different customers he's got pictures with, and he stops it, and you recognize Jessica Montoya from the news, and you see her there getting a selfie with him, with her holding one of his things of food, eating a taco.
Oh, look, you're famous.
She has been to my stand 3 times in the last few weeks. And what would you like for your triumph, by the way? As you're taking a point of strain for that threat.
Okay, so basically, he's talking about her coming down to
Mm-hmm.
visit his truck. Um, you know, he didn't say what it was. He said just that she was reporting on that, or that was it, or
So he just
I
said that
didn't
she's
catch
been
what
down
all
here reporting on the neighborhood.
reporting on the neighborhood. Well, for the Triumph, I'll just kind of ask him maybe a leading question, saying, "Well, she's been reporting on the neighborhood about the pollution. Is that the kind of is that causing any problems, or is that are there any issues about that?
Okay, so that's what
Any
you like
toes
him.
being stepped on? That kind of thing."
Okay, so immediately he kind of like as you come and look back at the picture, as he kind of like leans in close to you because he doesn't want that creepy guy in the hood behind you to hear him talk to you. As he's like, you look like a good person, so I want to tell you, the corporations have been pumping poison into that water for years now. Supposedly, a small child fell into the water and was dead within 2 days of falling in the water. And some of the environmental agencies have been wanting to investigate where the pollutions come from. And I think the big thing is that the and he kind of looks at you and he gives you the side eye, like, are you trustworthy? And you just give him that nod of affirmation that you're a good guy. And he's like, I think the police have been coming around here and roughing up anyone who talks about it because the corporations have come here multiple times trying to just cover it up and give bottled water to the people so that way that they ease their consciousness of poisoning the water. But if you see any police, and there's 2 or 3 undercover officers that come here and push their weight around on the people, no good fellows. If you see them and they throw their badge in your face, do whatever you have to get away from them because people have said that people who don't listen to them end up in the river themselves. If you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, and I'll just kind of, you know, you may not recognize me, but I'm a minor celebrity in my own right. I write down just Dante and then my contact number on a sheet of paper. So I'll say to him, I'll, you know, you see everything that goes on in here. I, I want to help. If something comes up, you need to let me know anything about this. Just give me a call.
And he's like, "Oh, you got it, you got it." And, minor celebrity. You say, "Are you on the reality vids or what do you do? Are you an actor?" I'm sorry to say, I don't recognize you.
I just smile and say, "Not yet," and then I'll nod to him, pay for the food, and then kind of like,
Okay, and when he gives
move
you your food,
along.
he kind of pulls you in close to him, and he takes a quick snapshot with his little camera frame, since you're a celebrity. And he basically is like, and I must ask, my friend, are you single? I have 3 granddaughters and 1 daughter that are all about your age. You look
I'll
like a
just
nice
say,
boy that would respect a woman, and I appreciate that, as both a father and a grandfather.
I'll just tell him it's complicated.
Oh,
He's gay.
I put that on my social media once, and my wife beat me 3 days straight.
Well, you're not supposed to put it on if you're married.
That's what she said when she beat me each time. Then I understood how complicated it really was. And he,
Just make sure you.
he gives you the smile and throws some extra tortillas on there and says, "Eat it while it's still hot."
I will, and make sure you call if you have anything you want to share.
And he gives you this side eye, like, "Are you meeting my daughter's phone number?"
No, I shake my head and look at the canals and give him the look.
And he gives you the, "Oh yeah."
Freaking Casanova.
Rolling a triumph on a charm. Okay, and then poor Maestro comes up after being ignored for a ridiculous long time.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, my friend, it appears the number 3 is quite popular. I will be happy to take one.
Another number 3. And he just looks down and he's like, Carlos! I need some number 3s. So I'm out of number 3s, but I have a number 5, a number 7, and a number 8s that are ready to go. If you're willing to wait about 20, 30 minutes for a number 3, my no good son will get one out of the kitchen and get it dropped off over here.
I'd be happy to wait. It seems so popular.
Oh, it's one of my wife's specialties.
That sounds good. It must be worth the wait.
It's worth the wait, but it's a curse because I should be in bed sleeping right now, but instead I'm serving number 3s, number 5s, and number 7s. I can't go to bed until they're all sold.
Just the prime numbers?
Are you sure I can't sell you a number 7?
No, my mouth has been watering for the number 3.
Okay. It'll be out shortly. He basically points over to where they've got some chairs set out on the curbside.
And I throw a little extra tip there to pay for it up front.
And he basically writes down a little note on a piece of paper and taps it on his little clip that looks like his cue. And he's like, what name should I put on it?
Let's see what I want to give him.
Pull out your Rolodex of aliases.
Whips out his conspiracy board. Who's been used in this district? They call me Mr. Gibbs.
Joe.
Okay, so he writes down Joe.
Yeah. No.
And he'll totally call you Ho.
I'll go over and have a seat at one of the tables.
Okay. So, as we notice that Darwin has kind of walked off with his new favorite aunt. And as you walk up, she's basically walking with the young boy on one side, and how are you walking up close enough to seem like you're familiar to her?
Yeah.
Okay. And she occasionally
Throws his tail out.
Reaches out for your hand, that instinctive old lady touching people's hands thing that you see a lot of ladies do. And she goes right to the community in question. And the boy basically looks at, Darwin, and he's kind of like, do you want to take her the rest of the way home?
Sure. Yes. Yeah.
And he hands you her food, and he basically goes running off to help his dad, especially since in the distance you heard this big yell of, Carlos!
Yeah.
And
Yes.
she's just looking super sweet and just pedaling along, patting your hand, telling some kind of story that seems to be really funny, and then turns really sad, and then turns really funny again, because she's doing the whole switching of emotions while telling her stories. You walk right up to basically the entrance of the compound of the ancients. As you make this turn, you see the big wall. It's got beautiful mosaics drawn. It's almost like, at one point when you look at the mosaics, it seems like a written history of the building of this town, of New Angeles being built from the old town that it used to be. Even shows this sad picture during the war, falling objects falling from the sky.
An important old nana.
And she just looks up at you and smiles, and she basically she starts, padding along to go inside the compound. And the two guys that are there on guard duty kind of like give you a look.
I'm going to pretend I don't notice them. I am engrossed in conversation. I'm listening. I'm reacting perfectly, and I'm just walking along with her and just going to walk on past like I didn't even know they were there.
Okay, so they kind of look at each other and then look at her and then look at you, and she just gives out this cute little laugh as you guys walk through. She's just like the sweetest little thing ever. As they just kind of like nod, just a respectful nod but non-committal. As they're just like, okay, I don't think I've seen him before, but obviously he's with her, so he's got her food. And they go back to surveying the street and looking for any kind of trouble or anything popping up. And just as you pass them, they kind of like reach up to their ears where they have a little microphone, and they kind of hear something and then kind of talk into their vest. All Secret Service style.
Okay. I'm not going to react. I'm still just doting on. I haven't seen Abuela in years, and I'm just so delighted and engrossed with her. I totally did not notice that. I'm playing it off.
And of course, as soon as you get in there, a bunch of the gals are waving to her from their patio windows and stuff like that. And one even says, "Is that your grandson?" And another one's like, "No, he's too old. He must be your nephew." And you're hearing a bunch of the folks gossiping as she walks by. I mean, it is ridiculously late at night, but people stay up to stupid times, of the morning now.
Yeah, and I am listening intently, though. I'm listening and looking and trying to get some idea of her name. I mean, I can get by with calling her Abuela for a while, but eventually I'm going to have to know something.
Okay, so since you are listening intently, and I like that, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Oh, good. I have such a good perception. Can I use a... Yeah, I will.
You can totally use the last one. I would love for you to use the last one.
Well, I know that we can steal 2 back, so...
Bastards.
He knows his friend's skills.
So go ahead and roll when ready. I've got your upgrade in there.
Okay.
So you were immediately hearing, them chit chat back and forth. As big thing you're picking up is the whispers and mumble of who is he, and you're hearing people say, well, obviously he's not a police officer. Just look at him,
Well, yeah, that's is obvious.
And then you hear somebody kind of mention is do you think he's a member of the Scorpions? And they're like, no.
Not with those mods.
As that's kind of the thing, is they're all just like, no, he's not a scorpion. Do you see a scorpion on him? I don't see a single scorpion tattoo on him. The last one of the Los Scorpions that came through here had a scorpion on his neck, and he was the bodyguard for you know who. And as soon as they kind of do that, they kind of like hush themselves, as they're just like, it's maybe she's his long lost grandson. And they're like, okay, but she does look happy. I mean, just look at her for being happy. And of course, they pretty much you just get the she's like you're getting the hint that Lita is the like community grandmother. She's the little old lady that everybody leaves food with. And they're just glad that you're walking her back home and you've got some food for her.
Okay.
And she's like, I think last time she went over to the cart and she bought things and she paid in buttons. But they're so sweet to take whatever she puts up there for the payment.
Okay.
I was gonna say, so he was excited to get real cash for her food then.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. Okay. So okay. So I will walk her to her door or wherever she is going.
And she kind of walks you over to the house that is hers, and she walks up and she looks around and pats her apron's pockets, and she like pulls out some things like a stick, a feather, and puts them back in, and then she reaches up to the door, and you clearly see that her door card, like hotel style card, is sitting in the door. And then she just smiles at you and she lifts it up a few inches and puts it back down to activate it, and the door unlocks. And you see that she totally just leaves it in the door.
Oh, that's not safe, Abuela, but I'm sure you have plenty of protection here.
And she just
Um,
pats your tail and goes, see, see.
Okay, well, thank you. It was a lovely visit. I'm not going to go into her house because that just seems inappropriate.
And
Unless she,
she gestures for you to come in with her, you know.
oh,
It's a trap.
And we never hear from Donald again.
The next thing you
no,
know,
no,
she's selling tamales that taste very lizardy.
no. It just seems I. You know what? No, I would go in. I would go in if I'm. I will go in to set up for food, but I'm gonna leave the door open.
Okay. Make sure nobody thinks any, hanky panky. So
Yeah. Well,
basically,
yeah.
she invites you in the house and she takes her meal and puts it on a plate and splits it in half and puts it on another plate. And she
Wait. No,
basically
I have my own.
has you sit down and she basically will eat half of hers and offer you her half of hers.
Oh my gosh.
And then when she sits you down,
when asked where he is.
she
What
like
happened
gets
to you,
this
man?
this knitted blanket that she must have knitted and she puts it over your shoulders to warm you up because she thinks it might be cold, and she puts one on herself. And she's
Oh.
just like shush shush shush, and she's wanting you to eat and save yours for later.
You get a text from Dante's that says, "Did Abuelita kidnap and murder you?"
Abuelita Lita.
I'm just gonna text back. I'm in compound. I'm gonna excuse myself to the bathroom and text from the bathroom and then come back. No, I don't need to do that. She's seen out. I'm gonna
Right?
do it at the table.
Nobody.
I'm just gonna in compound.
And as soon as you whip out your data pad, she kind of picks up a wooden spoon that you don't know where it came from, and she waves it, and she points the spoon at your data pad, and basically just says in Spanish, "No, not at table."
Yes, abuela, and I put it back, and I will send the text later.
And she just looks, she kind of, takes her spoon and pushes your plate closer to you, and she's like, "Shoo, shoo, 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 shoo."
So I turn to Maestro and I say, "He's not coming back."
I'm not hungry. I'm not. Please, abuela, I'm not hungry. Can we save it for morning?
And she comes over and she pats your, she comes to your side of the table and kind of pats your shoulder like, "Oh, okay. See. And she goes over and she turns on her vid screen and kind of sits down on her recliner. And you see she like struggles to push the button to make the feet come up so she gets comfortable. And if you do nothing, she falls asleep in moments.
I will let her fall asleep, and I will cover her with her blanket, and I will text them that I am in the compound. I've made a friend.
Watching the Golden Girls.
I'll text them that I have in at the compound now, at least hopefully. And I will let her. I'll put her food and my meal in the refrigerator so that she can have it the next day, and I'll make sure she's covered up, and I will quietly go out the door and shut the door quietly behind me and see how many people are standing on the porch waiting for me to come out.
There's a large number of people interested in looking because they're curious of what's going on, but you only notice one woman who's been sweeping the same spot 5 times. As she kind of like makes eye contact with you as you close the door quietly, she's basically watching to see why are you closing the door so quietly. Is this the doorbell killer coming to kill Porlita?
and I'm gonna put my finger to my lips and go, "Shh, abuela's sleeping."
And she just gives you this sour face, like. Yes, Dante's sitting there chowing
yeah,
down on his
she's-
3 in front of poor Maestro.
Right. So where we're at in all this
Of
area,
course, I
so
offer some.
is there? I'm assuming so. There's no internet, just basic cell service, or what?
There's some basic cell service and like little circle areas where you can stand to get reception, where you see quite a few people like kids that have data pads come like clomping around this corner because there's a small connection to the web in this one specific spot, so everyone is downloading who knows what in that specific spot. As you're just like, seriously, somebody can come here with 1,000 credits and put these guys in the 20x century.
Right. So most places there's no real signal.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're eating and stuff, can I just keep an eye out and see if like from those videos like with the like corporate enforcers and police, just sitting here, am I scanning? Am I recognizing anybody in the crowd here from any of those images or whatever?
That's a good question. Maestro's looking for a signal, and you're like, okay, I want to find these douchebags. So go ahead and give me a perception
Wow.
check. Since I've got all the story points, I'm going to totally have to use one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know it's ready.
So Maestro, what was that discipline check for?
That's a bad roll.
That was totally a bad roll. It shouldn't have been that
Yeah.
hard. I should it have.
Oh shit! There was 4 of them. That's why.
Yeah. What were you rolling against?
Oh, I was trying to roll just 2 actually. Well.
Your 2 plus my
little-
2.
Yeah, I didn't know if I thought it might have been blank. So
So
yeah,
go ahead
basically
and
was rolling. Do it again.
yeah, do it again in just a sec. Go ahead and let
Okay.
let him roll his perception real quick, and then I'll remove that upgrade from the story point. So you can have just 2 purple.
Oh,
Okay,
I
so
see.
you're kind of looking around. You can go ahead and make your roll for Maestro. You're looking around trying to match faces, and you notice that this food must be that good that people come from near and far. You see all different types of folks out there in line, and you're not quite picking out anyone that matches the description of those guys, whether the uniform or their actual faces.
Okay.
It could just be that the descriptions you were given were fuzzy or not quite in the detail it should be, but you're not quite marking it visually.
Okay. I'll take a point of stream back.
And Maestro, what were you rolling for there?
All right. Well, so we're in this like dead zone, no internet. I'm not connected, and that really kind of creeps out and kind of stresses Maestro when he's not connected. That's just not natural. And so he just kind of casually slips on a little patch
Ooh.
while he's sitting waiting for his food.
Okay, get a little jolt of stimulation since you're not getting any web stimulation.
No, not going to stimulate because I don't want to get even antsier. So a little happy patch, which basically the drug leaves the user with a hazy, relaxed high with just a hint of a harsh chemical buzz.
Any chance I noticed that?
What is Maestro's stealth? Or skullduggery?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm gonna say. Let's see. See. Skullduggery is 3 green. Yeah, so had to kind of numb the nerves a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to like snap at this guy to give me my damn food. So go ahead and Dante, give me that perception check to see if you do notice him kind of slip a patch on. And you do not.
I did not.
The number 3 is so good, you are oblivious to it. But you do
I'm
get
missing
a
everything.
point of strain back because it is that good.
Yeah.
You got a little bit of sweat coming on your upper lip because it's got some good heat to it, but it's flavor, not just heat.
Nice.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
And it
eventually,
says after. I was gonna say it says after using the happy patch, the character heals 3 strain, but is disoriented for the remainder of the encounter or 1 hour in narrative time.
so your strain's almost full.
My strain's full. I mean, I was only down 1, so yeah,
Okay.
my strain's back, but yeah.
But now you're just
I'm
a little
mellow. I'm all
little
chill now.
chill.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then finally, you hear the scream from the apartment window a couple floors up as this, drone comes dropping down 5 crates of pre-packed food, and immediately he's like, "Ho!" And he looks right at you, Maestro. Obviously, the Joe is the J in the, is silent.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll get up and go get it.
Okay, and he basically looks at you and smiles and says, "Thank you for being so patient. Here is a soda," and he gives you a free soda.
Aw, you're too kind.
And make sure and eat something. You look like you've been working too hard.
Oh, definitely. Very hard. Thank you.
And he kind of gestures over towards Dante, who's enjoying that number 3. Is your friend over there single? That's what Dante gets for being so attentive to Maestro and not pretending he's a stranger.
I haven't seen him with anybody in some time.
And he gives you, this look, even though you're kind of like super chill. And he's like, "Now, you say anyone? Does he like the girls? Does he like the boys? I've got nephews. If he doesn't like, girls."
The women seem to swoon around him for some reason I don't understand.
And he like slaps extra tortillas on top of yours. Obviously, that is his love language, which is giving you more food. As he basically smiles and pats your hand and says, "Thank you very much, and hopefully I see you and your friend here again sometime."
Ah, yes.
My
forward to this
youngest
delicious
daughter works the shift tomorrow around 11 o'clock. Gives you a little shaky hand, like if you want to come back then.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so you guys take off and realize that Darwin has taken off and infiltrated the compound.
That's he's like the physical guy, so yeah, that's good.
And of course, Maestro's food smells amazing.
Yeah, I'm going
Dante's
back home, sit
fingertips
down,
smell
whatever's
amazing.
going on at this point.
Okay, so Dante and Maestro, give me what is the best combination of you guys for perception. Since you're both sitting there
I think we both
eating?
have the same, 2 green and the yellow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if we're working together, I guess it
gives a blue. Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys are sitting and enjoying this food, giving each other the silent conversation, noises and gestures like, "Yes, this is good food." As you guys kind of like are sitting, chowing down, eating the food, and every time you look back at the cart, he looks at you guys and goes, "See, shakes his head, yes." He's just like, "I
Give him a
told you
big
it's
ol'
good."
nod.
As you
shit.
guys are doing that, damn.
Wow.
What?
That was.
Wow.
Oh wait, let me reroll. There's not supposed to be a blue dice there. Ooh, and Dante is spending a story point to upgrade the difficulty. I like that. Okay, so wow, even better.
Oh,
So you guys are chowing away on the food. It's delicious. You're using the napkins. It's greasy goodness. It's all that love baked into the food, and you guys are kind of oblivious in your little food gasm, as you're just like Wow,
I'm
this
all
is
chill, so.
so much better than paste and pills. This food has texture, flavor, spice, heat, seasoning. And you know, unbeknownst to you guys, you kind of see this little group of the ancients color wearers, you know, the actual active members of the gang kind of like circling the area. They're kind of like obviously but not obviously grouped up in groups of two on stoops, on fire escapes, and you guys are oblivious to the fact that you're basically surrounded with about 20 guys and gals watching you wearing the colors, and they're just like intensely eyeballing these two strangers whose faces they don't recognize. But you guys, you know, the food is good and you are oblivious to this.
And I'm just chilling, man.
Okay, so you guys message Darwin back.
Yeah, I'm gonna text him and find out when he's if and when he's ever returned.
I mean, he's probably done with his food, so he can text. I'm still working my food and chilling.
Maestro is not going to text and get his dirty fingers on his data pad. He will think the thoughts of text very hard.
Yeah, but I can't. I have no signal for the internet, so
Yep.
not going to pull the pad out. Besides, who cares? It's all chill right now.
He's just like, whatever. Let's go hit the urban sprawl later. Go look at all the suburbanites. Okay, so Darwin, you get the message from Dante.
I'm sitting out on Lita's front porch, enjoying the night air, waiting, hoping eventually. I'm assuming somebody will eventually come talk to me and say, "What the hell are you doing here, man?" or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's definitely
but
coming.
in the meantime, I'm acting as if I belong, and I get the test, and I'm just gonna say I'm gonna try and make friends. Stop bugging me.
That should totally worry Dante. Okay, so as you type that back in your data pad and put your data pad back in your pocket, just about that point, you kind of notice from the glare of your phone, kind of lights up this dark area up ahead, and you realize that two gentlemen are walking up towards you. Now, were you shown pictures of what your client's brother looked like?
Yes.
I probably would have shown him
was
my
I?
brother.
So you didn't share that detail?
Yeah, I'd probably have showed the brother. Since the others are still kind of, there was a bunch of them and ambiguous, I probably would have just made sure to show the brother.
Because the brother was pretty much 100% match for his youthful photo and versus his current photo.
Yeah.
Guy's like 25 and still has the same baby face he used to have when he was a teenager.
Did you get a name with it, or just that it was his?
His name is Cisco.
Cisco.
Okay.
And he comes walking up with you, and he's trying to do the coy, not looking directly at you, but looking at your feet, looking behind you, looking around you, until he walks up, and he just gives you the total mad dog look without saying anything, and his buddy like immediately, you know that pose where you just put your finger in your belt, like, you know, you're badass. His buddy comes up just shy of him, almost using him as cover. It could be, you never know, and kind of just does that pose and just looks at the ground like he's waiting for the throwdown to happen. And Cisco just says, "Excuse me."
Yes.
How
Can I help you?
How do you know Lita?
How do I? Well, I actually just met Lita. She's a wonderful. No. Yes. I didn't. I don't do it that way. I'm sorry. My brain tried to insert an idea halfway through. No. I met Lita at the food truck. She was a wonderful lady. She was telling me stories, and she just naturally was taking me back with her. And You know how the food truck gets this night, and Carlos, he was just overwhelmed. And so I said I would walk Lita home, and I took her home, and she told me her stories, and we brought in, and she tried to share her food. I left it for her for the morning, and she's taking a nap, and I was just helping out because she was so sweet, and I enjoyed her company so very much. And I smile.
And immediately when you get to the part where you say that you just met her, he kind of like sucks / bites on his lower lip. You know that nervous move where you're trying to jut your lower jaw out and kind of shuck on the lip. And you notice visibly his hand kind of twitches towards his sidearm, which it looks like he does have a holstered sidearm next on him. And he kind of looks at you with a little more curtness in his voice, and he just says, "Why are you still here?"
Well, because to be honest, I did not come. I'm sure you know that I am not from this neighborhood. But I do know a person who is from this neighborhood who doesn't want to be known, but she is very concerned about what happens here, and she said that she specifically said that Lita might be having some troubles, and she was concerned, and she wanted me to just come visit and make sure everything was okay here. Is everything okay here?
As he just looks at you and he kind of squints his eyes and says, "You gotta know everything is fine here. I mean, me and my hombres, we keep everything safe for all our uncles and aunts and mothers and fathers." And she kind of looks around and you see like one gal across the way opens her windows, sees you guys and closes the windows. She's just like, "Oh shit." So, go ahead.
I know, Cisco. I was told that you are very capable of protecting your aunts and uncles, but the person I know, she knows you very well, by the way. She is concerned about what happened. She doesn't want influence outside of the compound coming into the compound, if you know what I mean.
Ooh. Interesting. So go ahead and give me either a leadership, coercion, deception if you're being deceptive, which I don't think you are, or a charm.
I'm gonna go for coercion because that's a yellow and everything else is 2 greens. So, okay. Whenever. Am I ready?
I'm good to go.
Okay. I'm gonna close my eyes for this.
Ouch.
So what would you like for your 2 advantage?
Make it out alive.
As you just hear his buddy like, dude's giving you the runaround.
He doesn't like you either.
Cisco, let's just bust a cap in this fool. And Cisco kind of just puts the 2 fingers up, like, shut up, dude. But it's good because it got that hand away from his firearm. So your coercion of be cool just does not work.
Okay. Well, I mean, I am being as honest as I can considering the company, but all I'm saying is that I was asked. I'm going to be in the neighborhood for a couple days. Just I wanted to introduce myself. I met Lita, and she's a wonderful woman, and I'd love to listen to some of her stories another day. I'm going to be here for a couple days. I'm a friend. Feel free to. I'm going to be around the neighborhood for a couple days. I will take my leave. I'm absolutely just here to make sure that that the man does not keep anybody down.
Ooh. Okay, so you definitely get the idea that he is insanely suspicious, which is why all those fails are there. You know, basically
Yeah.
he sees you as an outsider, and whether you work for the cops or the corpse or some kind of thug that he's not associated with, he thinks that you being here is a danger to the community. And he basically, in a pseudo polite tone, offers you to escort you to the exit.
Certainly, it's getting late. I should take my leave anyway. Let me leave you my number, and I'm going to give him my number. And my name is Darwin.
He says, "Okay, Darwin, go," and he basically gives you this dismissive gesture, and you notice he takes your number, but kind of flicks it over his back like he's throwing it away. But you totally see his sidekick pick it up and put it in his pocket.
And I'm gonna shout back. It was a pleasure to see you, Cisco. As I walk away.
As his buddy's like, "You
And
so
wait.
should have cut off his tail, man. Would have been cool. Hang it off the fence." Okay, so you guys, are you grouping back up?
Yeah, I'll go back and see if they're still there. I will.
Well,
As
we have
you-
to wait for you there. So we
As
don't know where
you walk up and Maestro's putting the last few delicious bites in his cake hole. Nom 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 nom.
Okay.
Well, look who it is.
He'd be a little more excited if he wasn't so chill.
Right?
Well, I almost made friends anyway. They're a suspicious bunch, those ancients. Actually, can I not say that? I'm going to say,
Yeah.
Well, I made a couple friends, but I didn't get along with everybody the greatest.
Okay, so do me a favor. As you're walking up to your buddies,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay.
This
See
has
if
not
you
been
see
going
what
well
we
today.
missed. Uh-oh.
You were good and fast before I could hit that story point, if you don't mind bumping it back to me. I like it, though. So you come walking up, and you just kind of focused on the guys and the fact that the guys are eating and the fact you still have not been able to enjoy your food because you left it for Lita. And you kind of like come over, and I'm assuming you want to sit down with them. Well, you're watching Maestro lick his fingers and non-orgasm food orgasm out.
Stomach crumbles a little bit as I sit down. Damn it. How are you guys doing?
Good. Glad you made it back.
We made some friends. Lita is a wonderful woman. I would love to have an aunt like her.
Is your picture on her refrigerator now?
Not yet. I'm no celebrity. But apparently Cisco doesn't like me very much.
What did you do?
Cisco, you ran into him?
I ran into him apparently. Yeah. I met him on Lita's porch. He was very polite, if you know what I mean. I introduced myself. I left my card. I told him I'd be in the neighborhood a couple days, and that I tried to imply. I said an interested party. I called her a she who is associated with it but doesn't want to know who she is. I tried to leave him hints, but he just got suspicious. Apparently, I'm not good at hints. I'm not the subterfuge one. Why didn't one of you guys befriend?
I didn't have a
She wasn't my type.
As Dante checks out some cute gal walking by.
but still, they are interested, and they know that I'm going to be around at least. So that at least gives me a reason to be here.
So while I've got the both of them here now, I'll relay what the food truck guy said about the reporter and the basically kind of summarizing what we already know, but just relaying that it is known and that he'll call if he finds anything out.
Well, that's good.
At least something.
So it looks like all of us were successful networking, I say, looking at Darwin, at Maestro.
I networked right into that number 3.
Oh,
There was some severe interfacing going on.
Yeah, by the way, it was awesome. Like you ate it before either of us did. What did you think? Wasn't it incredible?
shut up. Just shut up.
Wow. Easy there. Put away the fangs.
As the tail twitches with agitation.
Did it not settle well with you?
I left it for Abuela. I left it for Lita. I was trying to make friends. I thought I would be able to stay longer. I didn't think Cisco would be such a dick.
Stay longer? What? Have a sleepover?
Just make friends, become one with the compound, be able to.
Right.
Who knows?
This stuff was great.
Well, we're gonna be here a while. One day I'll have my number 3.
Well, I'll anything else you guys want to check out while we're down here besides the food truck? You want to check out that alley?
Oh, sure.
You don't seem too enthused.
Just chilling, man.
He's totally at
might
that
as
point
well.
where he just wants to chill out on the couch and watch some MTV.
Oh,
So
that
is
is
this-
definitely.
Is it still really happening around the food truck, or is
No,
it
it's really late at night now, so things are slowing down.
okay? Is it kind of like that time of night where it's like normal people are still about, or is it like now it's only the people who shouldn't be out are out? Like
There's still
they
some
have-
regular folks that are, that take public transit that are still walking. They walk in surges, so you can tell obviously these are the folks getting dropped off by the buses or the light rail. So you get like surges of people coming home tired from a long day's work. You see this one gal that comes up and kisses your now best friend at the cart, and she's wearing a t-shirt that's got a slogan on it. And she's got a protest sign. It's got a little picture of a sledgehammer, which kind of gets your attention. And you're like, is that one of those extremists? And it says, human rights before android rights. And he kind of like kisses her on the cheek, and she goes into the house, the apartment behind the cart. And as he notices you notice, he's like, that's one of my daughters. Wink, wink.
So, do you guys want to wait for one of these surges to walk over to like this infamous alleyway?
Sure.
I definitely think we should check out the alley, especially if it'll disturb Maestro from his food coma.
And that's what it seems like. He's in food coma. But he's really sedated.
Just chill, man. Just chill.
He's just riding the wave of chill. Okay, so you guys kind of like packing your food up, tossing it in the garbage. Poor
Clean up containers and stuff.
poor Darwin
Yeah.
smells the containers. You flick it through the air.
Might have had a extra tortilla maybe, and I canned it to him.
Aww.
Since I got extras.
I eat it because I am hungry, but I eat it angrily with a glare.
So yeah, well, we can wait for a surge and then we'll head in that direction.
Okay.
So to walk with traffic and all.
Yeah.
Sure, because we're not being watched at all, and we're going to keep it that way.
Yeah,
No,
I
we're
mean,
not.
you-
We've been completely inconspicuous up to this point. Completely.
Okay,
Mosey
so-
with the traffic.
So you guys basically, you're waiting for one of those surges of people coming home. It's like the 12 o'clock bus just let off. People are tired, they're haggard. You guys time it perfectly so you can blend in with the crowd, hopefully. Somebody go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Ooh, I'm good at those.
And,
Anybody else good at that?
Anybody got a
Uh,
modifier, or are we just going to add a blue for helping?
I've got a yellow and 3 greens.
Oh, you're better than I am. I've got a yellow and 2 greens.
So it sounds like Darwin's making that roll.
Alright, Darwin is the stealthy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't you get something because of your talent?
Well, I'm indistinguishable. That doesn't
Oh.
mean it's not as much about being sneaky as it is in people won't recognize me.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
okay.
Recall features and key points.
Okay. Okay,
Looks
do I
like-
roll?
You're good to go.
Okay.
So what would
God,
you
I
like
hate
for
tonight.
the 3 advantage?
Oh man.
That's
Do it
Anyone
really
want me
fast,
to
so in case
help?
anyone sees you and follows, you're going to get a head start on them.
no,
That
that's a
totally
good
could be
idea.
a thing.
Yeah.
Alright.
You moved with great expedience and believe you were unseen while doing it, as maybe somebody on a fire escape can clearly see you're the 3 guys that rushed through the crowd, into the dark alley. But you think you made it through unseen. So you guys get to
Very
the
nice.
alley and you kind of like double time it. You hear a cat go "Meow," as you guys go running really quick and kick a can into it. So you guys get a little bit of a head start of any pursuers that could or could not be following you from a certain point of view. And you guys get to the alley area where you pretty much, it takes you a second to orient, but Maestro is like totally aware of this is the alleyway. There's beyond a shadow of a doubt because of the graffiti as well as the dumpster and the small amount of blood you see dried and caked on the wall. You have no doubt that this is the place.
Oh, okay.
Sweet.
So
This is
aside from it being horrible, is there anything that would make it obvious as to why this is the meeting location? Is there any kind of like feature about it that stands out as being why it's a good spot? Aside from it being awful.
Well, you kind of know from Maestro's perspective that it's very hard to get any camera shots. This is the wall that kind of blocks the compound from the other direction. But if someone wants to give me a perception check as you guys look around to investigate, that would totally be a thing as I'm trying to get a point back on your side. Because nobody stole points when you've been empty on your side.
Yeah, not yet.
Alright, I'll give it a try. Unless Darwin, you're being particularly
I've only got
attentive.
2 greens perception, so I'm not going to perceive.
I will attempt to perceive then.
Darwin
Something
waits till the
else
shooting
being
starts
Maestro
so he has
chill.
clear targets.
Exactly.
Alright,
Yeah,
ready
I'm
for
not
the
gonna
roll?
perceive because I'm just chilling.
Is it ready?
Wow. A complete wash.
I blink.
Tonight
So-
sucks.
You kind of like look around and you're just totally like, it's dark. Maybe if you had some lights or some optical enhancement, it would reduce the difficulty. And then you're like, I can't see shit in this dark alley. And pretty much just when you're saying that, as when all of a sudden you hear this like war cry. It sounds almost like a jaguar's cry in the dark. Because if you're ancients, you might as well have a Jaguar warrior motif going on. And
Oh, yeah.
immediately, you all kind of look around as a bunch of flashlights click on.
Oh, well, that'll help. Now
And
we
you
can see.
realize that you've got about 4 guys on one side of the alley and about 6 guys on the other side of the alley with their flashlights. They all
Wow.
seem to be wearing the same general motif of jeans, shirt. A lot of them got shirts, but they have the same club vest, which their vests are basically fabric vests, so it makes them look, a little more rustic than the usual gangsters with their fancy leather vests or synth leather vests.
Well, thanks for the light, guys.
Like, whoa, that's awful bright.
As all of a sudden you
I'm,
hear this female voice come through, and she just says, "What are you doing in our neighborhood? You corporate scum are the reason why we're fighting back. Prepare a throwdown, you pieces of crap."
Whoa. You're just here for some number 3s, man.
And
Okay, I'm gonna
Maestro
say.
says that.
I'm gonna say obviously my friend here doesn't realize that you obviously know that we're not here for the number of 3s, but you are making an incorrect assumption. We are not the corporate scumbags that you think we are.
And pretty much when you say that, you hear one voice on the backside of the alley go, "Dude, number 3's the bomb, man. It's the best ever." It's because they marinate that
nod.
stuff for like 3 days straight before they finish cooking.
Well, it is good, but that's not the
Is
only
that why
thing.
it's number 3?
As she just kind of like looks at Dante, and she looks like she's ready to throw down. As you see, like, people are reaching for knives and chains, but no guns. You notice, even though people have firearms on them, they're not reaching for guns.
Okay, well, that's a good sign. I'll say, look, we can do this the easy way and talk it through.
Okay,
What do you think?
go ahead and give me your charm. Let's see how charming you are.
Where's the flippy?
Ooh, look at you spending that point. So brave, giving me all the story points.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna steal it right back.
Are you going to use your ability?
Yeah, I'm gonna use the ability and steal it right back.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, and whenever you're ready for the roll,
So go ahead and roll your charm.
come on. Everything else is stunk. Let's see if I can do good at this. Ooh, just barely.
It was good time for a good roll. So all of a sudden,
Yeah.
you kind of like, "Hey, let's just talk." And she kind of gives this sideways hand gesture that you can see because all the flashlights in play. Basically, you get the sense it's the stand back, the stand down signal. And people like stop swinging their chains all menacingly or waving their knives in the air like they're going to cut you. And they just kind of put their weapons casually at their side.
I look a little disappointed.
So,
That was very well rolled. And she
Well,
just
that's a
she just looks at Dante and then looks at Maestro and Darwin. And she's like, "Continue."
I'm thinking, man, I shouldn't have given him that last tortilla.
The munchies, man, the munchies.
my name's Dante. You are?
She kind of steps forward. She's like, "And why are you in my neighborhood, Dante? Before I tell you my name."
In a nutshell, we're here to try to help the people of your neighborhood. Now, I know that right off the bat, you're not necessarily just going to take my word for it, but hey, we're talking. We'll get somewhere.
Okay, and she kind of, starts to step forward and put her hand out. So who's got the best perception, by the way? As this super tense moment is happening, Darwin's ready for a throwdown. Maestro's wanting some more food. Dante's getting ready to shake some gal's hand, who he's made another friend of. She's her crew are sitting there ready to rumble with you guys in a rough and tough way.
It's the one yellow, two green, me and Dante both. So
Well, I'm kind of occupied, so I'm probably,
So Maestro,
probably
what,
what I have to do.
I gotta make. All right. Sorry. Wait for the water, kitty. Sorry. I was just filling up, getting ready to fill their water up.
shall we take a moment?
A stray cat,
No,
like,
you're good because I can walk around and do it. I'm back.
One does
right.
not make a cat wait for anything. That's how you get cut.
I know. So if I die and don't respond, you know whose fault it is.
The cat done cut his jugular and his thigh.
All right, are we set up?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh yeah, I'm distracted.
What would you like for that advantage other than the delicious taste of that number 3 to linger on your palate?
Well, I don't need any strain because I'm all non-strained at the moment. I'll give somebody a blue. I guess somebody, either side. No.
Okay, and she proceeds to extend her hand. She puts her switchblade in her left hand and she hands her right hand out for a handshake, and she says, "They call me the Jaguar Warrior. My name is Rosita."
Rosita, nice to meet you.
And do you shake her hand?
I'll shake her hand.
And the second you shake her hand,
Uh-oh. She's gonna shock the shit out of you.
She probably is. Whoa. What just happened?
there is a loud gunshot that rings out.
Shit.
And the bullet goes zipping between both of you and Rosita as you're shaking hands. You know, she kind of like lunged forward to put her hand in yours and to shake, and your body language must have moved her body just a little off center, just dramatically, as the bullet zings between both of you. I mean, both of you look and you see this big, large rifle bullet fly between you guys.
Whoa.
And it misses both of you. And all of a sudden, Darwin is even watching this bullet as it's flying by in slow motion. As you guys are all watching this bullet, wondering where the hell it came from, because there's that whole quarter second before the report, so it's a good distance away. And you see it zing through a pair of propane tanks mounted onto the wall.
Oh God. Yeah.
That's even worse.
Followed by steaming propane shooting out, and then as the round hits the brick wall and just disintegrates under brick with metal and brick, creating lots of spark, all of a sudden the jutting propane from these pressurized tanks catch flame and send a giant fireball through the alley.
Crap.
So everybody, give me a resilience check.
Okay.
I mean, that's great that no one got shot. It just sucked that there's triumph, so something cool gets to happen.
Yeah.
Just over or
Basically, all three of you guys.
okay.
You're all clearly in the concussion zone of the shockwave.
Ooh.
Okay, so Darwin, you need to work on that resilience.
Yeah.
You're the only one with
I need
ranks,
to
and your
work on
dice hated you.
everything.
So you're going to go ahead and take 2 wounds that's unsoakable, and you get knocked the hell out from the concussion. You know what it probably was? You were the closest to those propane tanks, and you just got like flung across the alleyway into the wall, and you just passed the hell out.
That's fair. Where do I? Oh, wounds.
Yep. And thankfully, Dante and Maestro managed to eat dirt and dive for cover before the explosion, so nothing really did damage to them, except for the point of strain that Maestro took because he was a half-second slow dropping to the ground. I wonder why.
I'm a little distracted.
And there's a huge fireball that just goes from one end of the alley to the other and up with billowing smoke. And we'll say that's a good place to wrap it up there, cliffhanger ending. As whoever took that shot's going to spend his 3 advantage to get an extra maneuver to get the fuck out of wherever he was shooting from.
Can I,
Frickin'
before we split, so I can remember this? Can I use my advantage to push to have like I was shaking hands with Rosita to help her get down away from the blast? Like by pulling her with me?
You could heroically pull her into your arms and take the concussion for her.
Oh, and somebody had a blue they could have used out there. I did throw a blue out there.
Oh crap!
Do we want to have Darwin try to roll a blue?
Probably.
Go ahead and roll a blue and see if you get lucky.
Okay.
As we thought you were passed out, but you might not be if you get lucky.
Did you click out of the field?
No. Thank you.
If you have the blinking line, it hates you.
No, nothing.
Yep. So poor Darwin just flew across the alleyway, bounced off it. Now it's just minor damage, but the big thing is because you failed, you got knocked out cold. Somebody can come over and slap you to wake you up. It's just a maneuver to wake you up. But you got your
wants to do that.
bell rung bad. As of course. Oh no, go ahead.
The good news is you always make friends over a barbecue. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, you see members of the Ancients, blasted. Half their number got hit and took damage. The other half are, out cold. Rosita's sitting there holding on to Darwin. She's got her hand conveniently on his chest. Apparently Dante. Dante is totally the, ladies' man in this game, I swear. As pretty much the flame goes roaring up and everyone is screaming out in the streets because, they now heard the gunshot, and a large group of gangsters in an alley with a large group of strangers in the alley, and then a huge explosion with a smoke ball going up. And that's where the camera fades out, just following the smoke ball up into the sky, past the stars over to the moon, and following the beanstalk back into the hills.
Dang.
Drama cliffhanger. Dun dun.
Nice.
Yeah, probably that same frickin' sniper. You take his ass out.
Oh yeah.
There's only one at large. You see, he gets all the jobs.
He's that guy that everybody goes to. It's like Bullseye in Marvel Comics. Apparently he's the only sniper anyone ever uses. If you want the job done right, well, apparently not with this guy since he missed like crazy.
Right.
I mean, think about it. If he would have hit, that would have been a hell of a hit.
Yeah, I'm sure it would have. You're quite glad that it wasn't. I mean, it wouldn't have been me. That's okay. But, I mean, still.
This way, y'all totally don't get blamed for doing this. See? It would have been totally a frame job if you would have, shook her hand and then she gets shot and they totally blame you. Now you totally have,
immediate concern.
You have protection because you saved her and your friend is over there eating dirt right now.
Yeah.
The best part is they try to pick him up off the ground and he sticks to it. Where's the release button?
Drag him by the tail.
Alrighty, guys. So we'll say that's a good place to wrap it up for the night.
Alrighty, thank you.
You are welcome. I see allies in your future.
In the XP, huh?
Yeah. 10 XP.
Alright.
see.
Sounds
I
a good
need to
number.
improve my perception and my
Perception and resilience.
yeah.
As I joke with many players, don't keep putting points into the things you're already good at. You may want to balance yourself out a little.
Yeah.
No, I yes.
So discipline might be good.
No, I just didn't think I needed perception because I had these two perceptive I'll get out people, but apparently
As sadly,
party.
even you didn't notice the 20 folks watching you guys from every point of view. As
Nobody
you know,
noticed anything.
the camera
Ever.
just shows, Darwin walking up to his two buddies eating, and the camera pans back, and the audience gets to see all these people watching you with pure intent in their eyes, that they're only looking at you, and you guys are like, do 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 do. Let's go run through the crowd, and then there's two guys leaning over the fire escape rail watching you run down the alley before you disappear into the dark.
It's like Ben Hill or something.
Some days it just means, remember, it's their neighborhood. Maybe they just naturally know the blind spots to hide out in.
Well, yeah, because it's a blind fucking spot because there's no internet.
As
Right.
poor Maestro wants to go buy a bunch of those internet cameras and an internet booster and put it on that blank rooftop so he can put cameras everywhere.
Told you, just buy a modem and bring it with you.
It's like, it's like this not having connection is like bothersome for him.
It's jacking with your feng shui.
Yeah. Yeah, might put a point in my cool.
Resist that need to shoot up to chill.
Yeah. I mean, it was a perfect, opportunity or, role to make, considering. So.
That's why we love the narrative dice.
I had to be fair to my character, quirks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So. But it worked out. Happy patches are okay.
Happy patches are there for a reason. Woosah.
And they kept you numb to the concussions. Your body was
Right?
relaxed.
Right? See?
That's why he
I felt
succeeded.
softer.
He just kind of did that whole drunk thing in a car crash where he just kind of goes too limp to react in time. So his body doesn't take much other than just shaking about.
Yeah,
And I was all tense and ready for trouble.
And that's when the concussion just bowled you over.
Yeah. He bent like the willow, I broke like the
The
other.
The other tree.
Like the oak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like
that was
water, not the blood you sprayed all over the wall.
Yeah, but see, now all the ladies in the compound who are looking at me will nurse me back to health.
Oh.
Wow. He's going for the old gals.
Any of you ladies like iguana? Wink, wink.
No.
Okay. you get Estella Getty and I'll get Rosita.
No, I wasn't talking about her. I was talking about the nieces who were gossiping about me when I walked her in.
Yeah. Okay.
The old, the more mature but not elderly ladies.
Yeah, they need some loving too.
Shout out for the single moms there. I'm just saying.
Just a little bit of experience.
Single moms know what they're doing. Just saying.
Right?
Alrighty, guys.
Well,
Alright. Thanks a lot, guys.
Alright.
Yeah,
have a good night.
Good job.
Y'all have a good night.
See you back in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Actually,
Alright.
hold on.
Oh,
2 weeks is 4th of July. I will. No. Next week is 4th of July. Never mind. I lied. Yes, see you in 2
Yeah.
weeks.
It's good, right?
It's the Star Wars is off.
Yeah, it's Star Wars that's getting kiboshed next week because I'll be doing fireworks.
But Star Wars is tomorrow.
Or 4th of July. No, there's Star Wars Saturday, every other Saturday between this.
Oh,
Mhm, the
different
Age of Rebellion
Star
one.
Wars.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
our pilots, because I will not be home at 9 o'clock. I will be home somewhere around 3 o'clock in the morning.
Roger.
So that's the pilot group.
Yep. The Thunder
While I
Squadron.
got you guys here, Dave, you can be there on Monday, right?
Yeah.
And James, are you able?
Yeah, I should be free for Monday.
Okay, good.
I've got my workload set up, so it should be Tuesday that will be sucky, not Monday.
Nice.
All right. Well, good. Can't wait to get back into it this
I
Monday.
know, it's been too long.
It has.
Alrighty,
All right,
guys.
Gents, thanks a
All
lot.
right.
See you
All
on
right,
the
have a
road.
good evening.
Latest.